Welcome back to another video. As you see, there is no Nexus on my Nexus section because they're all down here. Today's video will be on how I got each of my Nexus members, where I got them from, what stores, how I got their arms, etc. So let's dive into it. I just want to show you how big this pile is. There's so many Nexus figures here, so much gloriousness. In my dreams, I dream of this. So I'm gonna add to this pile one day and it'll be even bigger. But let's get on to it. Before I start this video, I kind of want to give you a quick channel update. The Revolution match between the Nexus and the Revolution, gonna be hard to do since I don't have any storage and I can't do stop motion if I don't have any storage. So I'm probably going to do that as a manual match, which means I'm actually going to get in there with my hands and make them move around and stuff like that. So that is kind of depressing, but I'm going to have to do it that way if you want the match. Also news, if you follow my Instagram at Sinister Figures, you'll see that I purchased items on eBay. I purchased about 50 items, $50 worth of items on eBay. So that will be cool when that comes to the channel. Very excited about that. $50 worth of content. I bought 5 different listings actually, and I'll give you a quick sneak peek. Here's the Mason Ryan figure that will have something to do with one of the figures or figure parts that I bought. Mason Ryan does match, so maybe I'm teasing a new Revolution member. Only time will tell. But this Mason Ryan, it has something to do with one of the eBay items that I bought. So the way it'll work is when the packages come here, probably a week from now, since it's kind of Christmas time, and people are buying a lot of stuff, I'll save them all up, make a big unboxing video, and then that next day will probably be a figure fix-up video. So really cool, really excited for it. One of the figures is just for show, and the other ones are for fix-up stuff. So really excited about that. Like I said, follow my Instagram at Sinister Figures. I post pictures of figures, HD photos of Nexus members, upcoming plans on my story, current WWE stuff, just a lot of cool stuff on my figures. The last thing I want to say is, there was no video yesterday and I was fiddling with it. It was going to be a collection video, but then I realized that I'm buying stuff on eBay and then that would be an outdated collection video. So I decided against it, and it took like 6 hours to fiddle around with. So I got mad and just kind of said, we're not doing that. So this is the substitute video. So let's get on to how I got all of my Nexus figures, what cost, how I changed them up, everything. So enjoy the video. So first we have the leader, Wade Bryan, Jesus Christ. Wade Barrett right here. I got this one in a lot for on eBay for 20 figures. It came with the Intercontinental Championship, which is on Dolph Ziggler, and his rubber t-shirt, which I actually sold for $4 or $5. But I did get another rubber t-shirt and another lot, unconnected, so that's kind of a coincidence. But yeah, very solid figure. He is the leader of the Nexus. When it got down to it, I think I paid like 90 cents per figure because that lot was like really dirt cheap. So definitely worth it. Here we have Ted DiBiase Jr., the purple variant. There's a green one too, but the purple one is my preferred color, so I'm glad that I got the purple one instead of the green one. Not that I wouldn't mind getting the green one. If I got the green one, I'd probably turn him into a main roster version of Ted DiBiase Jr. and not the Nexus version. So I got this figure for $7, free shipping on eBay. I thought that was a really good deal. I actually head swapped it with another Ted DiBiase, even though you probably can't tell because the head scans were similar. The only thing I have about this figure, these boots, you see these boots right here? I barely touch them. They go up and down, but they're both really loose. He always wants to like fall over, so that is a problem. Next time I'm at Five Below and I see someone with boots like this, I might get them just to switch them out. I'm on a tripod right now, so I can't focus that well without it falling over. But that was Ted DiBiase Jr. Next we have Mason Ryan right here. probably the best basic Nexus figure in my collection. He is 4th or 5th in command in my Nexus, I should say. We have the Triple H arms, Skip Sheffield armband. We have the Alex Riley knee pads and the Damian Sandow white boots from my other basic Damian Sandow. We have the short elbow pads. Just a solid figure. Honestly, you could probably pop off this head scan and put a Jinder Mahal head scan on, and it'd probably pass for a Jinder Mahal too if you took off that Nexus armband. So, very cool. Next we have Cody Rhodes, dashing Cody Rhodes right here. This is from these arms are from Zack Ryder, a Zack Ryder basic. I think he's the only Mattel figure in history to have this hand where it's like white right here, but a skin tone everywhere else. We have the Darren Young Nexus arm right here. That's why it is a darker skin tone. This Cody Rhodes is a fix-up. We have the we have different Cody Rhodes boots. The trunks and the knee pads do match, but I did swap a different head on, and the arms and the Nexus band, obviously. So there's that. Here we have, I just realized I haven't been saying where I got them, and that's the whole point of this video. I got Cody Rhodes at the thrift store for $2, and I got that Mason Ryan for $5 plus shipping on eBay. So next we have Michael Tarver right here, very solid figure. These are the Cesaro knee pads, and these kind of unique boots. I don't think many Mattel figures have this boot, or Michael Tarver might be the only person to have this boot. We have the Undertaker Series 50-something flashback bandana on, because I thought that really tied into his character. But I've never seen anyone put the Cesaro knee pads on this figure, but it really makes the figure look better, because usually he comes with black knee pads. I got this figure for $7, $3 shipping, and a lot with David Otunga and Edge, Randy Orton, and a lot of others. So it was like $2 a figure when it came down to it. Really good deal. I made my money back on that one. So next we have David Otunga, because I mentioned him. Like I said, I got this in the lot with, not this figure specifically. I got like a really beat up version of David Otunga. But once I bought my other Nexus figures to get the Nexus arms, because I used the David Otunga Nexus arm on Darren Young and Jinder Mahal, so I had 3 versions of this figure, and this was the one that was in the best condition, so I kept it, obviously. But pretty basic figure, probably one of my least favorite out of all the Nexus figures, just because, oh, I dropped him on the floor, just because he's so basic. He's got no arm pads, basic everything. I would like to get another David Otunga figure, one of his other figures, because this is the least greatest David Otunga figure that Mattel has made. But still good, still glad I have him. Next we have Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja. We have the Zack Ryder knee pads. I'm sorry it won't focus, that's kind of lame how it doesn't focus. There we go. I know that's probably annoying for you. We have the Zack Ryder knee pads. We have the David Otunga arm that matches almost perfectly with the skin tone. We do have the David Otunga tattoo right here, which I forgot to acetone off. I will probably do that later today, actually, because I forgot about that all this time. But we have the Jinder Mahal head scan from his singles run back in like 2013 or something with the pink trunks. So that's where that head scan's from. I contemplated molding some hair, but I'm just going to keep it because I don't want to ruin the figure. But very solid Jinder Mahal figure. Next we have Zack Ryder. This is a unique figure. I've never seen anyone do a Zack Ryder quite this way before. Actually, that's the same case for half these figures. But we have the Zack Ryder knee pads, obviously. These are Dean Ambrose Elite Series, his first time in the line Elite gloved arms. We have the thick elbow pads. We have the Zack Ryder face scan right there. Not my favorite Zack Ryder face scan. I'd probably switch it out given the chance, but there's not too many Zack Ryders at my disposal, so I don't have that much to choose from. But I believe this is a Justin Gabriel arm. Can't really tell. It's either Heath Slater or Justin Gabriel. I got this figure in a lot with Jinder Mahal for like 15 bucks, so a little more than I wanted to spend, but this figure was already all put together when I bought it, so I didn't make this figure. I just put the Nexus arm on, the Nexus arms. He came with the Darren Young arms originally, but they were like his Battle Pack arms, so they didn't have the Nexus armband. So someone else made that Jinder Mahal, so kudos to whoever did that. Next we have Darren Young, speaking of him, so I might as well put him. This is a custom Darren Young. These aren't Darren Young Nexus arms. These are David Otunga Nexus arms, because I think it makes Darren Young look a lot beefier, because he does have some muscles now, or when he was with Titus he had a little bit more muscle than his arms that he came with had. So I fixed him up. He looks a lot beefier. I would like to get the Battle Pack head that came with the, like he had like the tan pants. I'd like to get that head scan because his hair is kind of off-putting. So I'll put up a picture of it right now. So that was the head scan that I wanted to get for this Darren Young figure. I really hope I get that head scan. I think it will just make the figure look 10 times better. But yeah, this figure is pretty neat. Let's move on. Here we have Heath Slater, one of the main people in charge. This was a hassle to do because I had a Heath Slater Nexus arm, but I had to get these like little rings on his thumbs, so I had to like hand swap it, but the hand like got stuck, and I thought I was gonna break it, and it was just it was really stressful. It was like one of those NASA missions where all the people were in the room. That's what was going on inside my head, and I did that. But this is a very solid Heath Slater figure. This is his Battle Pack figure with the better head scan, best Heath Slater head scan in my opinion. We have the elbow pads on there, and we have the boots with the, you can't probably see it, but there's like dark gray on the bottom instead of the basic black, so I thought that was a neat touch. Probably going to run out of room up here. I don't know where I'm supposed to put these. So I haven't reviewed this figure or shown him off yet because he was always in the back, but here is my Husky Harris. This head scan is pretty bad for Husky Harris because it doesn't look anything like him, but I don't really know what I was supposed to do about that besides molding or whatever. So here's my Husky Harris. This was made out of a William Regal figure that I bought in a lot. Did I not say how much that Heath Slater was? I keep on forgetting how much I bought the figures for. This Heath Slater was in a lot of like 45 figures for like 30 bucks or so. There was a ton of figures in there. Most of them are in my collection still. Like Kurt Hawkins, Brock Lesnar, Rusev, Biggie Langston was in that. So just a lot of good figures in that lot. I ended up selling most of them back because there was an elite. There was an elite, like, old school Christian with the yellow tights and the elite old school Edge, so I sold both those figures and made my money back plus some, and I got to keep all those cool basics. So it was just a win-win. But back to the Husky Harris figure. This was a William Regal body with no head when I got it, but it did have all the William Regal stuff. There's still the England tattoo right there that I need to remove, and a tattoo right there. So, really cool figure. It has a lot of potential to be made even better, so I'll probably get around to that one day. Next figure is the Skip Sheffield. This figure is one of the few in here to not be modified at all. So, yeah, just basic Skip Sheffield arms. Skip Sheffield, just basic everything. This figure is actually probably the best condition in my Nexus because there's not like a single scratch on this one. The joints are all tight. It looks like someone ripped this out of the package and immediately sold it to me. This was like 99 cents plus like $3 shipping on eBay. I guess no one knew who he was, so no one bid on it, so that was really surprising when I got that. But I think I might get Triple H. Elites are usually pretty cheap on eBay, so I might get one of those and transfer this Skip Sheffield onto the Triple H. Next we have Curtis Axel or Michael McGillicuddy, whoever you want to call him. This is a Wade Barrett arm right here, so it is a little bit beefier than that arm, although you can't really tell. But this is the 3-pack Curtis Axel, or the singles. I don't know, because they repacked them. But the only other change, the Wade Barrett arm is the only change I made to this figure. Here we have Drew McIntyre, or McIntyre, since that's how it's spelled, but everyone calls him McIntyre. Don't know which one that really is, But this Drew came with the really weak, like, Christian-style arms. So I actually hooked on some Heath Slater arms right here. You can tell it's a Heath Slater arm because it has the closed fist. If it's this style skin tone with the open fist, then it's a Justin Gabriel arm. I know this stuff because I've been doing this for a while, but yeah, just basic figure. I wish I had the red and the red or the elite white Drew McIntyre, so I could do that. I got that figure for like $4 at a thrift store, by the way, so I forgot to say that again. So here we have Damian Sandow. If you watch my Damian Sandow Nexus review, it was one of the first videos I did on this channel. I'll tell you in that video where I got this, etc., etc. So I'm not going to go too much into detail about this one, so just go watch that video if you're curious. But this is one of the few Elite Nexus figures in my collection. Very cool. I switched out the knee pads. That was from David Hart Smith. I explained it all in that video. Here we have Alex Riley. Very cool and underrated figure. The head scan's kind of eh. Of course, it's not going to focus, but hey, what it's going to do. Comes with the very cool white boots, and it came with the white knee pads that I put on the Mason Ryan figure. But these were just basic black knee pads, probably from that Mason Ryan. So really cool figure. That is a Darren Young Nexus arm, but you can't really tell. And I think it's kind of cool how you can't really tell, because the wrist tape on this and this are almost identical. So I'm just like, I'm not doing bicep swapping, I'm just going to put the whole arm on. So I did that and then put the knee pads on, or the arm pads, and called it a day. We're all out of space on this shelf, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But we only have 4 figures left, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. Here we have the Ezekiel Jackson. This Ezekiel Jackson used to be in a tag team trio, kind of like the New Day, with MVP and the Mark Henry that was in this this attire. If you watch my top 5 worst figures, you'll see that Mark Henry. But I decided to get rid of this MVP and Nexonize the Ezekiel Jackson. That is a Michael Tarver arm, which is rare. So I had 2 Michael Tarver figures. I acetoned off his tattoos or whatever and put it on. It doesn't match exactly because obviously this arm is a lot smaller than the Brock Lesnar style arm. But what you're going to do, we have the red knee pads, very cool figure. I actually had the Elite version of this, but I sold it in favor. I had both of them at the same time, so I could have either turned the Elite into one or turn the Basic into one, and I said I might as well turn the Basic into one because the Elite sold for way more than the Basic would have. So, yep. We're kind of winding down. This is the third to last figure. Number 17, Chris Masters. I did a review on this too. These are not the knee pads it came with. These are Santino Marella knee pads. That is a Skip Sheffield arm. And I bicep switched it so that the tattoo would still be there. A very cool figure, one of my favorites. This is a very elusive figure, kind of hard to find. I got this one on eBay with the Ezekiel Jackson. This one was like $5 and a lot, and this one was about $12, but that's what you get for buying Chris Masters. He's kind of hard to find, so of course the price is going to be higher. Here we have Justin Gabriel. Very cool figure. This is the Battle Pack figure that he came in with Heath Slater. This figure is actually pretty much flawless. There's not a single scratch on this figure, and all the joints are tight and everything. This is the best Justin Gabriel head scan other than that one that came on his Basic with the green and black trunks. But yeah, really cool. Just a great figure. And here we have the last figure, and probably my least favorite in the collection, and I'll tell you why. Daniel Bryan. So when I got this figure, it was all chewed up. There was like, there still is some chewage right there on his hand. But Darren Young arm does not match at all. Might do something about that. But yeah, Darren Young, I mean not Darren Young, Daniel Bryan. They kind of sound the same though, so I get why my brain made that connection. So here we have the face scan, one of the better Daniel Bryan face scans. Kind of that young Bryan look. Just a basic Daniel Bryan figure with the all red. This is one of his first figures, or his first figure. I'm not sure which one, but yeah, this figure, the joints are really loose. It kind of rattles, and I don't know, I'm just not a huge Daniel Bryan fan. So that is it. We have all those figures right here, along with these 4 right there. That's just that is how I got each of my Nexus figures. Sorry if I didn't do an actual good job of telling you where I got them, but a very cool collection. This probably counts as Nexus Collection Part 3 since I did add Damian Sandow since my Part 2, so I'll probably put that in the title. So, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. As you can see in this video, I put them back on my shelf and ended up making it kind of a double-decker style kind of display thing. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Follow my Instagram at Sinister Figures for more figure stuff, and stay tuned for more videos.